Hello guys, welcome to a new video. I'm so excited that you've landed here because we are going to be chatting about content platforms and where to post your amazing ideas and teachings using the 80-20 rule. And I'm calling this the content rule that changed it all because it is a really common discussion in and amongst the coaching world, right? Like, where do you hang out to ensure that you're getting in front of your clients? That is 101. But I want to take this conversation a layer deeper, and I want to discuss why you are more than likely feeling so burnt out with content, or maybe the reason why you're so inconsistent with it is because you feel like you constantly have to be on that hamster wheel and you are running out of ideas to post, or it's taking you ages and ages to come up with ideas. This is going to help solve that because ultimately at the end of this video, you're going to see or be reminded of that the content game should be working for you and you shouldn't be working for the content. I think that's where we are disproportionately forgetting that this is meant to be a freedom game, not a game where you're locking yourself into needing to dance and perform like a monkey for the algorithm. As coaches, mentors, teachers, and service providers, we have a huge advantage to not need to be doing that. Like, you're not wanting to constantly be feeding the algorithm to get paid by social media. Like YouTube, for example, I love the idea that maybe one day I'll monetize this channel, but you have to hit a lot of hours and you have to hit all these other checkpoints in order to be monetized. And from what I hear, you need millions and millions and millions of watch hours and views to get something decent salary-wise. So those people can run the algorithm game. I'm not here necessarily for that. If it happens, it's fantastic. But I'm here to create a legacy resource. I want people to come to my YouTube channel and I want people to come to my platforms so that they are, able to get amazing information, but not necessarily at the cost of me needing to be live and, exchanging my energy constantly. The content is doing the work for me. All right. Hopefully that hasn't confused you, but I want to discuss this in diagram form. So let's go to the trusty iPad over here. 80% of my content is now a long form evergreen. So you probably heard of the term long form evergreen. And the best way that I can describe this is basically you are able to go to a piece of content and search for it and dive into it and binge on it. And it should be the type of content that is also very informative, or at least it can go deeper into your world, into your knowledge, into the things that you're teaching, as opposed to it being short form, which is over here, and short form being more entertainment, kind of fun connection points, lighthearted information, but not something that someone can necessarily watch for 1 minute and go, wow, like I've learned so much from that. Like, of course that can happen, but your long form evergreen as teachers, mentors, coaches is really where you are teaching them something and you're giving them really valuable information that they can take along with them, apply it, and hopefully they move through your customer flow as well. Okay. So previous to this, it looks so obvious when you see that, right? But previous to this, I would say, and this is being generous, it was actually the other way around. So I used to be like 20% long form and 80% short form. And that's honestly why I really felt so burnt out last year, because I'm constantly trying to run around the algorithm like this and create more content and do more things and make sure that I was constantly on, because it was so short term. Now, if you're feeling like this spiral's happening to you, then I'm with you, and we're going to talk about how you can switch that up. But first, what is long form? So long form these days, I really think it comes in 3 main platforms. I can't think of any others right now that could make the top 3. So top 3 would be YouTube. Also, if you have a podcast, which is more for your audio people, awesome. Obviously, you can also do video podcasts, but generally speaking, I like to have the camera off when I've got my podcast because I'm speaking with my eyes closed. And for those of you that are writers and authors, I'm going to put Substack in here. It's becoming really popular. You can monetize it as well. And obviously under long form, you would have your paid content because that's under a membership platform, but we're not going to talk about the paid stuff today, just where your free value is being shared with the world. On the short form side of things, there is obviously Facebook, there's Instagram, and there's LinkedIn, there's TikTok, there's Snapchat. There's probably a whole bunch that I'm not, Threads, which is sort of Instagram, but there's probably more. There's probably so much more. But where I am mostly hanging out in terms of my short form these days is actually only one platform, and that is Instagram. And the reason why I've chosen Instagram as my place of hanging out is because it's because of ManyChat. So you've probably heard me talk about this in other videos. ManyChat is a program that you can download for free. There's a free version of it, and it helps you sell automatically. It kind of works on other platforms, sort of, but just not as well as on Instagram. I think it does okay on TikTok, actually, now that I think about it, but I'm not a TikToker. And the place that I used to hang out a lot was actually LinkedIn, but I no longer hang out on there because my energy has basically left the room, and you've got to honor that. So that's something that I also want to bring to light. If you just don't like a certain platform anymore because the feed is annoying you, the people are just not posting about things that feel like it resonates with you any longer, then consider that a big sign to look for something else. And what I did 9 videos ago, I think it was about 8 weeks ago that I started to switch things up, was I left the LinkedIn platform and I reallocated my energy towards YouTube. And that was honestly, I feel like, one of the smartest things that I personally did this year. And it's changed the whole game. Like, I want to show you. So these are the last 9 videos that's on my channel. And I'm so proud of it. Like, everything that you see here in the purpley orange are the videos that I've made since I reallocated my energy and started making long form evergreen. So from here, there it is, like 2 months ago, the new strategy, daily sales, no more launching. That's the first video I've posted. And then it went to all these others here. So this is officially our 10th video since we've come back onto YouTube. And I am loving it. I find it so fun. Like, I can't wait to sit down in front of camera and chat to you guys week on week and share some stuff. And I'm always thinking about you guys, like, what do you guys want to hear and what would be a fun thing to share with the YouTube community? I did not feel that with LinkedIn. I honestly, with LinkedIn, felt like I was on this spiral of like, oh my God, what I'm going to post today, I've got to post multiple times a day. So big fat sign. Now, obviously, there is the whole other conversation around where do your audience hang out. I believe in this day and age, you can speak to any niche and any audience that you're looking to get in front of on any platform. Honestly, I truly believe that. Like, back in the day, I would have said to you, if you are looking to grow your authority and your personal brand, you need to be on LinkedIn. Whereas now, I don't believe that solely and wholly. You can be an authority and grow your personal brand on YouTube. You can do that on Instagram. I used to believe that because I used to be a career coach. I don't know if you know that, guys, but my first entrance into the entrepreneur world was career coaching. So I used to think nobody's going to want career coaching on YouTube. They're only going to want it on LinkedIn. And Instagram, I don't know why I was hanging out there. It just sort of felt like no one's going to want career coaching there. But of course there is, right? Like, people are always going to want all kinds of advice, and more than likely they're going to be on some platform to numb out, and they're scrolling away, and there you are sharing something of value, shedding light onto their day and giving them that level of hope. So that's my personal view. You can, take your own view on that. What I think is most important is that you're hanging out where you are feeling most excited, where you feel most lit up, and that's what YouTube is for me. By the way, you guys, I just want to take a really quick minute to say thank you so much for your subs. Like, you'll see here on the channel that we've crossed over 2,000 subscribers. We're at 2.02. And that officially means that since we started really focusing and doubling down on YouTube. When you hear me say we, it's me and my husband, because my hubby and I work together. He's the behind the scenes of all of this. So he makes sure that the thumbnails up, that we've got the SEO right. He edits the videos, although we don't do much editing on these ones, as you can tell. But anyhow, that's what I mean by we. But since this channel really came back to life, we've added 500 new subscribers, like in less than 2 months, 9 videos in. Thank you so much for hitting subscribe and for all of your likes and your comments. I'm answering every single one of them personally. So from the bottom of my heart, truly, this is amazing. When you are concentrating on where your energy wants to be and how lit up you are, the results speak for themselves. Okay, they really do. Now, back to long form evergreen content. Most of my clients actually ignore this piece of advice from me. I think they just get really comfortable with where they've hung out previously, like, oh, Facebook groups work for me. But then in the very next sentence, they say, it's just not converting as highly, or it's not, the algorithm's not as great and people aren't commenting as much anymore. So if that's you, just take a minute to give things a shot and give it a go. You really need to at least, if you want to try out a long form evergreen platform like YouTube or like a podcast, really sit down and ask yourself what's holding you back. Like, what's scary about that thought? Is it the technology? Is it knowing what mic to buy? Is it not feeling like you have enough time to start a new platform? Because if that's the case, do what I did. Like, I literally decided to we're just going to do this together, just erase out LinkedIn altogether. Like, I just honestly felt like I had to get rid of that platform in order to give myself more energy towards YouTube. So all the time that I was spending over here in LinkedIn energy is now being reallocated to YouTube. Works really, really well. Okay. Now, just because it looks like Instagram is sitting under the 20% bubble, it doesn't mean that I'm cutting down on my intention behind my Instagram posts either. Do not mistake that. So whilst 20% of my content is in short form land, I'm still 100% in to Instagram. So I hope that makes sense. Like, it takes me sometimes 60 to 90 minutes to think of a really great post for Instagram, and that's it. Like, sometimes that feels like my job, like thinking about for the day, what am I going to post to Instagram? It's taking me 60 minutes, but I know that post is going to make me $500 to $2,000. And that's worth it to me, every single day. And not just that, on Instagram, I talk about it in another video. My Instagram is now set up as a mini evergreen platform because you can go to any post on my Instagram and shop my courses or shop my PDFs or go into deeper places and content with me. I'm just basically setting it up as a way that it's working for me, so I don't need to be on there all the time, right? Okay, so what does long form really do for you? This you've probably heard before if you've been in and around the coaching world, the know, like, and trust factor, right? Like, you need to be presenting yourself in a way that some stranger on the internet is literally like, I love this person and I need every single thing that they have got to offer. Which, by the way, last week I was speaking to a new client of mine who signed up to work with me inside of my mini mind. And she said, Ruby, I found you. I watched your YouTube videos, and within 3 days, I had bought your highest end offer that you had to offer because I just knew I had to be in your energy. So what long form does is that it builds the know, like, and trust factor faster and more sustainably than anything else that I've ever tried. The podcast has done an amazing job with that. I have only ever had my super, super high ticket clients sign up for anything big. And most of them have said, I've listened to your podcast for years and years. Now that I've restarted YouTube, I'm noticing that daily sales or mid-ticket sales are coming through, and they're saying, I watched your YouTube video, maybe you're one of them, and I loved what you had to say and what you had to teach on that topic. And it's just honestly been so good as a factor where I'm not needing to push or to heavily sell because this video is doing the work for me. All right. So a good way of actually looking at this is you've got know, to like. Yeah, I like your stuff. To trust, trust your information, trust that you're sharing something that's real and something that's good for me or something that I can try. And then what happens from here in long form evergreen land is they go into buy. Okay. Very rarely will you see this happening again and again and again in short form because it's just too quick. Short form is amazing for, building that entertainment. It's fast, it's fun, it gets eyeballs on your work, but it's not really built to hold people. It doesn't deepen the relationship as much as now you're here watching this for how long? 20 minutes plus, and maybe you'll go to another video from here. And then from there, it's like, yeah, I think this chick knows what she's talking about, or this chick's just full of beep. There's no way, whatever it is, like it really helps you form a much deeper and better decision. I hope that this video has really helped you see why perhaps things are feeling really in burnout territory because most of your energy is focused on short form energy. If you would like to build a sustainable foundation for your business and wanting to create this amazing knowledge platform, I really cannot stress enough that long form evergreen is going to be the answer for you. Take a bit of time out of your day, research what it takes to start a YouTube channel, have a look at what microphones are out there if you want to start a podcast, watch some other YouTube channels on how to start something like this up. Pay a VA or an OBM, I don't know, $20 an hour to do that for you. There are so many solutions. We are living in a time when entrepreneurship has never been easier, when there's more at our fingertips. AI is here to help us. So please, the excuses are no longer. If you're in it for the long term and you're here for the long game as an entrepreneur, have a think about how your long form content is going to play a massive part in that. The next video that I'm going to recommend to you is this one right here. It's a perfect continuation to exactly what we've spoken about. Come on over. I'll see you there.